Right, so yeah, let's continue. So previously we talked about how to select a certain image and change that image by click image and adding its adjustment. For example, we can adjust the hue and saturation. It's pretty common, and since we already have done that multiple times, for example, using that to make a stamp like the becoming kind of a repetitive pattern brush. Okay, so after we have done that, let's try something new. Okay, and this is method a lot of students who follow my tutorial always got into, and they will find that their results are different from my results because they use different methods. So in this video, I'm going to distinguish these two methods. The first method is what I discussed with you guys previously: select a certain layer and click image adjustments and adding the hue and saturation adjustments. But also you can doing adjustments by using here. So essentially you can add a new adjustment layer. Okay, so if you already chosen this copy layer, which is the this let me just get rid of it and make it original here, and let's don't adjustment. Okay, so you've chosen the original this or red layer, and you can add here the right button here, and you can add the hue and saturation. A lot of students mistakenly think that the hue and saturation here is as the same as image adjustment, hue and saturation. It's completely two different things, right? So if you follow tutorial and you use this adjustment, you will see things completely different. Let me show you. So hue saturation, we adjust, say hue. You will notice that all of the apple have changed. Okay, so instead of just change one apple, we change all of the apple. Okay, so for example, if I change that to I don't know, some greenish, maybe here it's more like greenish, and of course you can change the saturation as well. So this is a more green. It's just a little bit darker. I think the darker saturation give you a pretty authentic feeling rather than this pretty green, because that is just too green. Okay, maybe add a little bit darker to the image, and lightness you can decrease the whole lightness, and this is the most obvious adjustment is that if you change the lightness, you kind of change all images lightness. And as you guys can see, this part and this highlight part does not change the lightness. So how's that? Pretty simple. If you think about it, all the thing above this adjustment layer does not change. For example, the brown part and this shadow part and this highlight part does not change. For example, if I change the lightness here, what is remains is the layer above. Okay, so this brown part, this shadow part, and all kind of detail part does not change. Okay, so this adjustment layer will affect all the layer down below. Okay, so if I change that, all this apple will become more darker or brighter. And if you change the saturation, it will affect all the apple down saturation, right? And the change hue will change all these colors on the, so yeah, bad apple, yeah, like a sour apple, or poisonous apple, or I think that definitely poisonous. Yeah, and yeah, you can change that all back to the original red color, or maybe just stick to the greenish apple color. Okay, so in summary, if you adding this adjustment layer, they will affect all the layer down below, affect this apple as well as this apple, as well as the color of the centered apple. If you just use the image adjustment, it will just adjust the layer that you selected. So it's completely two different things. Don't confuse these two. I have seen a lot of experienced digital artists make the same mistake when they are working, because the project they are working on is pretty complex and is pretty tend to, yeah, get these two concepts or basic concepts confused. Okay, so yeah, don't get that confused. So yeah, let me adjust this shadow a little bit. I think maybe if I make it, this is more realistic, I think, because this is much more blend in. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that.